Man, that rich homie Quan era was the truth. That rich homie Quan era was the truth. Transitioning from drug addict to herb addict, rising in power to the God, rich homie Quan. Look, this is my story because essentially I want to tell y'all how much his music impacted me in the particular time of me making this move and transitioning from a drug addict to essentially a herbal medicine addict. And during the time of his era, during the time of his music, and what's up, y'all? What's up? Dream Rise here for another one. Uh, during the time of his music, during the time of his era, in that time with him, Young Thug, all the it was just a sound that you was hearing from Atlanta that was off the chain, that was taking off in a tremendous way. And it was a beautiful thing because essentially during that time, that's when I was slowly but surely transitioning out of my drug addict adventures and coming into another state of spirituality, herbal medicines, and growth and self love. So when I heard that Rich Homie Quan transitioned from an overdose, I was like, damn, you cannot make that shit up. Rising in power to the God, man. Rising in power to the God. Sad story, but we got to talk about the spiritual message that's coming through heavy in these particular times. When you look at it from a spiritual lens and just understand that the now time energy is speaking something heavy to you, speaking something important to you, speaking something in the form of it's an emergency, wake up, alert, alert. So back then, during that time, that Rich Homie Quan time era, right? Maybe 10, 11 years ago, this is when I was transitioning out of the drug realm and the drug era energy, where I was just addicted to drugs, ecstasy, bars, weed, alcohol. And as I was going through, you know, some spiritual shift or my dark night of the soul, because I was about 20, 28, 29 around that time, right? As I was going through my dark night of the soul, and this just spirit just hit me over the head like, nigga, this shit is whack, it's over, fuck it. I had to really come to grips and understand that I had a choice to make. Either I was going to continue to do the drug thing. Oh, wow. Check this shit out, boy. What in the world? A white butterfly? What? Oh, dang. I can't even see it. That's absolutely amazing. Hold on. Let's see if we can get this. What? How the hell is this in my house like that? Shit, develop your intuition and psychic power so you know this message is about to come through heavy. Damn, I want to show y'all it, but oh, there it go. Chaos in the blood, baby. Hey, I can't make it up. It go down. Let you live. And look that up symbolically, spiritually. So boom, I go cold turkey on the drugs because spirit is hitting me. I have went into so many different accidents and overdoses that if I did not make this jump, then I was going to be on the other side and transition and then have to come back and try again. And I knew it in my heart. It was like a little voice just screaming at me in my head, like, nigga, you will come back to this bitch and you will start over. Keep on doing them drugs if you want to. So I remember a few different times, right? I was at Prairie View, me, my brother, and some of my partners. We in the car driving to Prairie View. You know, Prairie View about an hour away. We getting drunk, bars, ecstasy. We taking both of them at the same time, and alcohol and weed. Driving there getting loaded, boy. My brother, he was just a designated driver, so he was just driving us to the thing because Rick Ross was in Prairie View at the time. So boom, I'm taking all of it, not thinking of nothing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we had girls following us behind and shit. Nigga, so we get to Prairie View and we stop at like the little bridge or the little road. There's like a bayou in Prairie View. There's a road and a bridge. I get out, get into the car with the females, chopping it up, playful, laughter and all that stuff. Smoking weed, smoking high. They smoke big smoke. I get out of their car and sit on the edge of the bayou on the little rail part. And as I'm sitting there, I blank out, I pass out and fall back 15 feet deep. Niggas thought I was dead, boy. I was like, God damn, my brother thought I was dead. It was over. Long story short, they put me in the car, rushed me back to Houston. Don't even take me to the hospital. Ain't that a bitch? They like, hell nah, we ain't getting in trouble for this shit. Don't even take me to the hospital. Just rush me back to the H. I wake up and I was like, damn, I'm fighting it. I'm heavy fighting it. Like, damn, I don't know how I made it. I think the drugs actually saved my life, the bars, because I didn't feel no pain or nothing. I just fell back. Woo. But I know my ancestors had my back because they used to call me Fofo and shit. And that's an ancestor spiritual message that say, hey, the ancestors got your back, but not for too long, buddy. So you're going to have to figure this thing out. Anyway, I get home that day and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and said, what kind of dumbass, goofy ass shit is that? Falling down a bayou, passing out, falling down a bayou. That's a bridge. That's a crossing roads. I said, I ain't never doing no drugs again. 2 days later, boom, right back at it, baby. Drugs again. You feel me? Shit, because I had the bars and the ecstasy. Y'all remember back in the day, the tabs, it was like you can get like 300 of them. You feel me? And you don't know what them hoes was laced with. Cocaine, everything in them hoes. You just got them at the house. What you supposed to do? Sell them, of course, but then obviously you get bored, take them. So that was an interesting time, and I still ran back to the drugs. But my whole spiritual gnosis and my whole spiritual walk that I come on this YouTube to explain to the family is that we can beat the addiction. We can beat that low vibrational energy that's sitting inside of us that's keeping us subservient. We can move into a different space and time through mental alchemy, through spiritual alchemicalizing our energy upwards, right? Instead of keeping it in our lower human 3 chakras, we can move it upwards and then get high on life instead of high on vices. But it takes courage, it takes Heru, it takes that hero in the heart chakra for you to get there. And when I finally said enough is enough, I went through my awakening. I went through a 2-week coma where I dropped all the drugs, bars, weed, alcohol, everything, right? And for 2 weeks, I was in a comatose, a shell of myself, stuck, right? Because I went cold turkey. And them 2 weeks was painful than a motherfucker. But essentially, I was going through a cocoon stage, turning into that butterfly that you just seen. And in this cocoon stage that I was in, I just kept on having thoughts like, it's the music, it's the music, it's the music. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Because I was heavy into all type of music back then. It's your partners, it's your homies, it's your homies. I'm like, God damn. In the 2 weeks, I'm sitting there listening to the spirit hit my ass up like that. Like, see, the music was sinking me into a certain vibration that was keeping me into this self-attuning zone of low vibrational shit. So as I was listening to the Young Thugs, to the Jeezys, to whoever back then, the Rich Homie Quans, right? All of that, essentially what was happening to me was I was stuck in a certain vibration that was keeping me reaching out to the vices, and I couldn't escape it because my vibration or my physiological language in my body was attuned to that specific sound and pitch, the TIs of the world and shit. So now I'm stuck in a trance-like state with the low vibrational music that was keeping me a shell of myself and keeping me from actually getting into another level of enlightenment, to another level of consciousness, based off of me being addicted not only to the drugs, but to the music and to the lifestyle. See, you couldn't tell me shit. I wasn't giving up that strip club for nothing, boy. What? Shit. And there was a time in my life I said, how do people, why would somebody stop drinking? There was a time in my life I was giving out bars thinking like it was the right thing to do. Like, yeah, nah, nigga, just take this. And it was like literally like, nah, this is good for you. They just tell you that this shit is good for you. And in them specific moments of me, finally stop running from myself and getting into the space of saying, you know what, fuck it. Let me be courageous and let me do what this little voice keeps on telling me to do in my mind. In them moments, and I finally overcame it based off of me dealing with the matters of my heart, I ended up transforming my energy from the lower 3 chakras, right? Where I was just in the animalistic survival mode all the time, trying to bust a nut, looking like a squirrel trying to chase a nut, to a more enlightened state, a more enlivened state that pushed me into another frequency and zone. So I want to encourage the family, like, look, hey, I get it. Yeah, that shit. Y'all believe it's some kind of, whatever lame shit or whatever to be to be sober and all of that stuff. But I'm just telling you what it is. And I'm about to show you the spiritual synchronicities right now with the Rich Homie Quan, rising in power to the God. I used to jam Rich Homie Quan, and that shit in my car, I had a Lincoln Town Car at the time, and I had a Crown Vic, them hood slabs and shit, bang in the trunk and shit. That Rich Homie Quan, that shit was gold, boy. What? That nigga was on. That nigga had motion, boy. Say, dog, that nigga was his sound was absolutely amazing back then. Like, I'm talking about chaos in the blood. I used to pull up to chicks' house and shit, and they would come out, but I would rewind the Rich Homie Quad so it could hit a certain part. Ha! Ha! Hey, stop playing so they can top and bottom real and shit. You feel me? Real Thug is like Young Thug and that bitch, him and Young Thug. They was magic, boy. What? The girl would hop in like, ooh, I like this shit. Yeah, that's right. You looking crazy than a bitch, boy. Rewind that Rich Homie Quan to that right part when she come out. She like, oh, this nigga old as hell. Big smoke. Yeah, where you want to go? Hide in the bitch. Say, dog, y'all niggas funny, boys. Hey, why niggas do that, boy? That is crazy. Or like your partner come into the car, jump in the slab and shit. Let me get right to that part. Hell nah, boy. You be driving, you be in the zone. That's that automaton shit. You be driving, you gotta play that song back. Hey, that is hilarious, dog. Rising in power to the God. Let me show y'all this Rich Homie Quan part real quick where he talks about his drug adventures. Rising in power to the God, dog. And this was an important message. Shout out to Math Hoffa and them, because essentially he explained a lot. And that's important when you coming down off them tabs. You know, it's important to understand that, you know, you are gonna feel that letdown. And that letdown, that next day, you gotta smoke or drink or something to beat that feeling, because essentially what happens is the Molly or the tab just expands your endorphins in your brain to 1,000. So then when you're coming down, you don't have no more endorphins in your brain to just have a regular day. You feel me? So now you have to, you know, figure out ways to get through that day or two, because if you do it as much as I did, like he said he did it a day, that's what I was doing every day. Couldn't have sex without it. You feel me? That shit was a monster to beat, especially if you're, you know, if you just had, especially during that young 20s, that time 21 to 27 age and 19 to 27 age, right? You feel like you're invincible. You feel like nothing can't kill you. So you just in that whole zone of like, shit, I could take this forever. And then the crazy thing is, you know, that bitch was laced. Them tabs, them blue dolphins and all that shit. Niggas was telling you them hoes was laced and you still took the bitch. That's how invincible them 20. So anybody got them 16 to 27-year-olds, just look out for them, ask them some questions, because again, you know, we have to really gain, and a lot of us made it out. And the funny thing is, as we got older, right? Like some of my partners died the same way Rich Homie Quan just transitioned. Just recently, a few years ago or a year ago, same way, taking these drugs still, laying on the couch, gone. Now, I don't, and that's what I'm saying, because that's what I was telling y'all the last, or one of them times in one of them videos. I'm telling you, I don't know. They put in something else in this bitch. So that fentanyl or whatever that stuff is, you don't want to take none of that shit. Fuck it. You feel me? Because essentially, they doing something else with this shit, and you're thinking it's just a regular tab or whatever, and you gone. That's how my brother's baby mama transitioned. So all of this stuff is hitting close to home for me, like a motherfucker, right? I was talking to my brother's baby mama. She passed maybe now 3 years ago, right? She was going through it, with the kids, all of that, right? Boom. The next day, dies. Drugs. My niece and nephew said she just collapsed. I was like, damn. And I knew she had him because she was telling me about him and shit like that. So now, you know, hey, fuck that shit. See, you know what you got to do? You got to transition. And right when my Dark Night of Soul was happening at 27, I transitioned out of that drug shit, right, to the herbal magic, to the teas, to the supplements and stuff like that, right? Because I needed that, because essentially my brain was still foggy, right? And I'm trying to get my brain power back. So I was taking that alpha brain, on the nootropic alpha brain that Joe Rogan was selling back in the day. I was taking these herbs. I was taking that haritaki, you feel me, that I sell now, ashwagandha, all of that stuff. So in the grand scheme of things, right, the herbs that I was taking to gain my mind back and that I'm selling now, and me doing all that stuff to just gain my mental back, is absolutely a blessing in disguise that I did go through that course of action with the drug overdoses and addiction, because now it pays my bills. Chaos in the blood, baby. So I went from selling drugs to selling herbal drugs. Chaos in the blood. But my testimony is real, and you know, and I'm just trying to help the family understand that you don't got to go alone with this thing, right? And then me just seeing even my partners go to jail over this shit. I wish I could tell y'all this one story, but I'm gonna keep it real light. You feel me? Boom. Partner, whatever, da da da. He buys some bars in college, blah blah blah, right? And he ends up shooting somebody. They'll know he's on the bars, end up being in jail, wakes up in jail for life. Just based off of the decision that he took, the bars, saying, I'm about to go get this nigga. And then the bars make you feel like Superman. So now you feel like you're invincible. And then all of a sudden you're behind a goddamn jail cell. You don't know how to get out. I had a partner in college. This was my little homie. He did anything I asked. He loved me. My nigga Lloyd. Crazy as shit, boy. This nigga used to go in. This nigga used to get anything, boy. Anything. He would do anything. Country nigga. And anyway, he was on them bars too as well, right? And he would taking me out. He would get the bars or whatever, and he would go into Walmart. He'll be at Walmart. He'll put the big screen TVs in his cart and roll right out of that bitch and put him in his car and come back to the schoolhouse and sell them. I said, Lloyd, your ass is funny than a bitch, boy. And he would do that over and over and over again. And it was just the bars is just to take away the anxiety and the worry and fear about getting caught. Like some of the stuff I used to do on them bars, I knew it wasn't me because I'm like doing crazy shit. Remember them Jeeps? I'd take a knife, slash the damn plastic part. We was doing some crazy. We would walk into Walmart and just take shit. It was just that kind of thing that just took you out of your way. You feel me? So whatever you was feeling in that particular time, you was gonna take action on it, and you wasn't gonna stop. Absolutely, yeah. Hey, y'all know how I get. That's absolutely a mess. Here we go. That creative genius that comes online for you is a motherfucker, right? And you know, and we get it. That's why these young kids, they dying young. You feel me? And their mind is exploding, so they can create at a genius level. So now think about these young kids. They catching the pitch of their voice, right? They're catching the pitch of their voice quickly, and essentially they're catching the pitch of their voice in high school by taking the drugs, and then they can sell their music, because essentially music is the sound frequency that's penetrating people, right? Based off of them tapping into deeper recesses of their mind based off of the explosion of the drugs. Now, so, you know, hey, that's what it is. You know, you remember you used to pick up chicks on them tabs. You like, damn, my shit blowing, baby. Oh shit, I'm chopping this shit up. Now, again, that's the lower human chakras in survival mode that you have to remove yourself from, because essentially, right, you have that innately within you. You just got to unlock it. And the way to unlock it is by bringing up your Kundalini energy from your lower three chakras, dealing with the matters of the heart, being courageous to get rid of the addictions, being courageous to think for yourself, being courageous to step out of the mind control or the programming and do your self-love journey, right? That's the courageous endeavors in the heart chakra, and then ride that energy up to your throat chakra where you will speak things into existence or speak clearly with ease, right? Now that's the power cutting on. Or you'll be able to see a vision or your future vision in your mind's eye from your third eye, right? You'll know, oh, okay, I'm a visionary. I can see my pictures clearly. I can see my next steps. Oh, thank you, Spirit. I got the message. I know what play to run. Run the play. I got motion. Or you'll be able to receive channels and downloads from your ancestors and your higher self based off of you being high on life, high on your spiritual endeavors, instead of you being high on devices and shit. So I'm just telling you straight up what it is. I'm telling you the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Nigga, we all went through that particular. Now, some of y'all was sober or whatever. I'm just talking to the ones that was in that life, right? And that still smokes weed every day. Put a one in the chat if you still smoke weed every day. I'm talking about that shit. See, we've been programmed or shifted into an idea that, okay, weed isn't bad. Isn't bad, right? What we have to learn and grow into is that weed is a ritualistic practice. All of these substances, essentially, right? Cocaine, weed, acid, mushrooms, all of this stuff. It's a ritualistic practice that you want to do to get deeper into your mind, in the recesses of your mind, once a month, once every 2 months, twice a month. You feel me? But when we abuse it and do it every day, essentially what we're doing is we're not being able to receive no channels and downloads and information because we're obliterated that part of us that knows, and now everything is like a normal seed thing that happens with the weed and the fog of the mind. You feel me? So I just want to encourage the family, hey, look, we got this, family. We can do this, and it's just up to us to empower ourselves and get into the whole space of love for self, and fight that energy that pushes us into the regular human automaton way, because we believe we're being rebellious. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to that. Watch this. So let's break down his name real quick. Rich Homie Quan. Rich Homie Quan. So rich means abundant, plentiful, right? And that's spiritually rich. Spiritually rich in the mind. You feel me? Spiritually pushing yourself to different heights and levels. That's what rich is. That's when we get to the real power of rich. That's what we're talking about. Rich in the mind. Homie. That's your homie, the big homie, the old connection. Don't fuck with, we ain't no little homies, whatnot, or may say, you ain't no little homies. Look, that's important. Your connection with people, your relatability with people, right? That's the homie. That's what homies just essentially mean. And then Quan in Chinese and Vietnamese language means power or leader. So his name is rich with powerful understandings and gnosis, right? Gnosis is knowledge. So we have to really look at that to the key, to the core, to the key, and really see what's going on with the God. Boom. His birthday is 10/4. 10/4. Y'all know what 10/4 is. I can't make it up. I'm just telling you what it is. 10/4 is a radio code that means acknowledge or understood. Acknowledge or understood. Hello. Hello. So guess what? You acknowledge and understand that Rich Homie's death or transition is a spiritual message. His birthday is 10/4, so it's speaking something to you that he overdosed on drugs, and that something is saying, hey, I need to put down these vices for a little bit. Let me put down these vices and let me start getting into my spiritual bag. Let me just see what it feels like to be sober. You gotta have courage to do that shit, nigga. You know how courageous I had to be to step out on the ledge and say, nah, fuck that shit. I ain't running no plays with these drugs and vices. You know how motherfucking chastised and strange it looks to be sober. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That peer pressure is a motherfucker. All your peers do drugs and alcohol. So what the fuck is wrong with you? So now you have to be courageous to say, nah, enough is enough. I'm gonna find out the true high, right? I'm gonna go search for the true high, which is enlightenment, and the light is shining bright. So now, instead of me feeling good taking the vices, I feel good just waking up, baby. I feel alive. I'm enlightened because my energy has transmuted, right, from the lower three chakras, which is me being a shell of myself, being addicted to sex, addicted to drugs and alcohol, addicted to porn, addicted to all of these little things, right, that the human has to provide for us, the environment, right, addicted to money and shit like that. And I rose my energy up to the heart chakra, right, where I really looked at myself holistically and said, you know what, I have to let this human go. I have to die on the cross and let this human go, because essentially it's not serving me and it doesn't have no purpose for me right now. Because if I always need something to fulfill me, then who am I? A junkie, an addict. So now, boom, I did my work. It was hard. Trust me, it's going to be hard. Trust me, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be many days, ups and downs, ups and downs. The ride is the roller coaster is a motherfucker, right? Your body is trying to get used to where you're supposed to be, your new self. You feel me? Boom. Look, and I'm talking to you. I know for a fact there was times in my life I said that when I would never stop drinking. I remember that. I'm sitting there like, why would I stop? Why would somebody stop drinking? This is the shit. Now I don't need it because I'm high on life. I'm high up here in the mind where my drunkenness can come from up here where I feel great all the time. I don't need to be oh yeah, it'd be gone, boy. So I'm trying to push this energy into y'all so y'all can see what I'm saying in the aspect of evolving, right? And transforming. Man, appreciate that, sincere. I see y'all. Okay, appreciate that love. So 10-4 is birthday, right? Birthday is his birthday. And that's this acknowledging and understanding that, look, hey, him transitioning shouldn't be taken for granted. You want to wake up and understand that this is a message to you. I'm talking to you. This is a message to you to get on your shit. It's going to be hard. I'm going to say it again. It is going to hurt. It is going to hurt. That's the point. It's supposed to hurt because your body is trying to get used to the new self. So just embrace the hurt, embrace the headaches, embrace the angerness, embrace the uncomfortable feeling. But I promise you, at the end, when you do get through it, because you will get through it, your life is going to be golden. So now again, you can take herbs, because I'm not saying I was taking herbs, right? I started just transitioning to herbs, and I stayed on the herbs. The Harataki oxygenated my body, oxygenated my brain. Ashwagandha, bacopa, all of these particular herbs I was taking in my run, right, to self-development and to mitigate some of the energy. So like with the ashwagandha, essentially it relieves you of the stress and it turns that stress into energy. So go get my meditate supplements, because essentially that ashwagandha inside of it is going to create energy out of the stress you're feeling in your body. And then that bacopa is going to give you some mental clarity and some sharper, deeper thoughts so you can be more focused. Bacopa is also tied to the god Brahma, the creator god. So then you'll have creative thoughts, creative ideas, right? Now, it's not going to be an explosion like the drugs and the mollies and all of that, right? But you will still be able to cope with what's going on, and it'll be able to ease you into your new walk of life, your new self, your new adventure, your new self-love. Instead of needing a substance to love yourself. And again, you don't got to take shit. You feel me? You don't even have to take shit. The real game is just to be sober, right? To be higher on life. I'm just saying, as you're transitioning through this new stage of life, you probably want to take some teas and herbs to make the walk that much easier, because you can default back if you don't have something to calm your nerves. So like with me, I got off the drugs and I went into the comatose, and I had to find some kind of supplementation to get my brain power back, because my brain was fucked up. I shit was fogged the hell up. So that's when I started taking them nootropics, gold, that monatomic gold by Delver Blair, Harataki, all them different herbs, teas and stuff, teas. Go get the book Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, because I was doing herb magic as well. All of that stuff to get back on the saddle, if you will, and to get my mind back. Sleeping, drinking water. And now, well, watermelon season is over, but hey, if you can still get to that watermelon, that'll be important. So 10/4 is his birthday, right? Guess what else comes out on 10/4? That's right, you guessed it. The Joker movie. Joker Fula de Dux. Fula de Deuce. And essentially it's a dance. You want to be in rhythm. You want to be in this dance in a rhythm, but you want to rebel against. You see, this Joker movie is deep, because yes, it's talking about rebelling against the societal norms or the conformity of the world, right? But you can rebel against the set programming of you believing that you need that vice. You believing that you need that rap music to be happy. You believing that you need drugs to move and go through your world. You can rebel against your set programming that you put inside of yourself in this belief system, based off of your childhood traumas and based off of your cousins and them smoking weed, based off of Snoop Dogg with the Chronic album in the 90s, based off of Friday, How High, Half Baked, all of these movies and shows that was programming us to say, oh, weed is fine, oh, drugs is fine. And nigga, I know I sound squared in a bitch, boy. But hey, I'm just telling you what it is. That shit is another level when you reach this enlightened state in the mind and be high on God. So this movie coming out on 10/4 is a rebellious energy to break free of any addictive behaviors you might have. Any addictive behavior, whether it be you being addicted to society, whether you being addicted to the drugs and alcohol, whether you being addicted to sex, whatever it might be, you being addicted to porn, whatever it might be, that's the spiritual alchemical transformation that you want to move into, because essentially that's going to break you free into another state of mind, which is God. So it's very, very important y'all hearing me right now, family. I'm just telling you what it is. Because listen, look, back then, right? I was doing my thing with the money and all of this other stuff, right? I was really getting to it. You feel me? But my money was up and down, because I would crash cars, I would wreck cars and shit, right? Quick. Remember, I had got a Lincoln Town car. Boom, I just read up and I had like $6,000 to my name, right? Boom. Got this Lincoln Town car, whatever, right? Boom, wrecked it. Totaled it. Off them drugs, you know how it go. Nigga, spend the whole 6 that I got stashed away, right? On another Lincoln Town car. I had a red one, then I got a blue one. Niggas was like, damn, niggas thought that shit was cool. I'm like, nigga, now I don't even got no other money to re-up. So now I got to double tax y'all, because now I'm fucked up out here. Because I needed another car to get around. So that shit ain't no goddamn, see that when you vibrating from the root chakra like that, essentially the pendulum swing to the left is going to be the pendulum swing to the right. So you're going to have your ups, but you definitely going to have your downs. And essentially all your energy is focused on being the man, doing your thing in the world, or whatever the fuck niggas want to be, right? And when you put your attention in that specific zone of genius, then you have to live by the law of it. See, now my attention is on more spiritual matters, more experiences in the astral planes, right? I just got me a Beetlejuice doll. Where did I put that Beetlejuice doll at? It's in my other room. And essentially, right, understanding the death realm is very, very important. But so now my up and down is like, oh, this week I might have a lucid dream. Next month, no lucid dreams, right? Okay, now I had this out of body experience. Next month, or next 2 months, I don't feel nothing, right? So I'm focused my attention in a direction of the other side, based off of me being formidable and having some kind of presence in that specific realm, in that 4th dimensional, 5th dimensional light being realm, right? So now, guess what happens to the earth plane, baby? Magnetizes. The money and stuff comes to me because earth is now chasing me. And now all I got to do is sit back and just do me. You feel me? I just showed y'all last, whatever that was, my TikTok. I just received another $7,500 check in the mail randomly. So what I'm saying is, when you focus your attention on the money doesn't come, right? Because now you ain't letting it come down to particle form. What you want to focus on is a creative endeavor that you want to pursue down here on this earth realm, based off of the passion you have for that creative endeavor down here. That will help others. That's the Dharma. That's what this whole thing is about, is living out your Dharma. How can you give to somebody else based off of the experiences you went through? So for me being a drug addict and a shell of myself for all them years, I gained some light and clarity on how to maneuver out of that thing based off of me actually doing the alchemical process through the heart chakra and getting into the space of God. So that's my dharma. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to help and assist people transition from the human mind to the spiritual mind and beyond, and move into a space of being a spiritual being or a spiritual worker, if you will. Because fuck that conscious person shit. That's that black Afrocentric conspiracy, all of this stuff. That's what the conscious people are. I'm talking to spiritual people, spiritual workers who knows that in order to change something about them, in order to change their energy, they're going to have to go within. And they're going to have to go within deeply to change and eradicate the particular world that they're living in. Because all you're living in is a mirror. It's a big ass hologram mirror that you're seeing. So all your friends, all the vices, all the relationships you've been in, right? It's just a mirror reflecting back to you on who you are. And the bigger and deeper you look at that mirror and trust and say, oh, okay, I see what I am, right? I get it. See, when I was fucking all them hood hoes and shit, that was a mirror showing me like, nigga, you think you big shit, nigga. You still fucking with these hood hoes. So this is who you are, nigga. You feel me? Couldn't lie and run from that shit. This is what you are. You still going to Metropolis and Caro's and the Roxy and all of that and the strip club and shit. Nigga, you look... I wish you would say you, boy, going to them after hour spots, staying in that bitch till 5 a.m. Nigga, that's who you are. You are everybody in that damn club. And you looking around saying, nah, I'm better than these niggas. No, that's you, nigga. Reflection, baby. That's what it is, straight up. So you got to understand how to see yourself from the external view, because that external view is just a mirror. And just being honest, your home, your lifestyle, all of that is just a mirror of you. Boom. So Rich Homie Quan, right? He was 34, and that was his 7 year. And y'all know 7 is a sacrifice year. 7 is your sacrifice year. So any of y'all that's in your 7 year, whether you're 25, 34, 43, right? You want to do your sacrifice works and give something up. Give something up. Now the book is called, where's that book at? The book is called, there's a few different books. Do I got it up here? Well, I probably got it in the other room. But essentially, you want to do your oh, here we go. So just understand the sacrifice, right? Let me get to it so we can really get down with the get down. Understanding sacrifice. Sacrifice. Now, remember last year we was talking about sacrifice heavy, right? Because it was a 7 year. And we was like, look, you got to give something up to get something new. You feel me? And the whole year is about you doing something different, you doing something strange to change your world in this 8 year, which is infinity, right? And then we're going into the 9 year in 2025, which is supposed to be you sitting on your throne or you being in a more enlightened state. You feel me? Here we go. 7, the number 7. As the highest number of the physical plane, 7 represents a special function of human life. It indicates the amounts of learning one must amass, generally through the unforgettable form of personal experience called sacrifice. Personal experience called sacrifice. Its deeper philosophical significance lies in 2 domains: physically 7 represents practical activity as the means for consummate learning and teaching. Spiritually, 7 is the temple number, the repository of philosophy, truth, and wisdom. This further indicates the need to detach from worldly possessions in order to integrate body and soul. Sacrifice is not to be avoided. It's a wonderful opportunity for cleansing and refining. It is when we fail to practice sacrifice voluntarily that the universe sees to it that such purification takes place. Such purification is going to take place in your 7 year if you don't get into the sacrifice zone of genius with it. So you don't want to run in your 7 years, right? You want to embrace it and say, oh, okay, I get it. Let me turn up and turn out during this specific time, because 7 chakras, 7 C's, your 7 emotions. Well, your 7 emotions is based off of you balancing them out and ridding yourself of the human emotion, of judgment, of ridicule, of all of that particular things dealing with the chakras, right? And essentially, people got it backwards, because when you rid yourself of the human emotion, you'll get on YouTube and do whatever the fuck you were supposed to do based off of you don't give a fuck. You'll do your purpose driven based off of you don't give a fuck who judging you. You know how many people come for me every day in these comments and shit? I don't lose no goddamn sleep because I don't have no emotional ties to it. So what I'm saying is, when you do your chakra work, then you'll get into your new walk of life, whether it be lame in your old life, right? Or whether it be challenging in your mind, right? You'll do it just because you don't have no emotional ties to it anyway. Because again, 100 years from now, nobody ain't gonna give a fuck that Dreamwise talked about goddamn Rich Homie Quan. And that so that's what I'm saying. We living in the now, baby. You think niggas is gonna remember Panic, Brother Panic, in 200 years? So you believe Bobby Hemmett will be remembered 1,000 years from now? Niggas, nobody ain't gonna remember this shit. So that's why I'm saying you might be running away from yourself based off of you judging yourself based off of other people's ideas of you. Trying to keep that idea alive in their mind because you don't want to look weird or whatever to them. Nigga, all my homies and shit, all my childhood friends and shit, they think I'm like a preacher or some shit like that. They wouldn't even listen to none of these videos. They can see my YouTube and all of that, the title. They'll see this video, right? They'll see Rich Homie Quan and everything. They won't click on it because they like, oh no, he about to preach about some kind of God shit. They think I'm like that, you know, the Jesus or whatever, the church shit. And I don't give one fuck because that's their own mind. You feel me? They don't know that I'm doing spirit. See, this is the confusing thing, and this is something I had to learn as I became a spiritual teacher. People are going to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe just based off of their own perception of the world. So like all my partners and shit, like even when I ran that play with them with the mushroom bars and shit, essentially they still see me as like holier than thou because I'm healthy, one, right? And two, and it's funny because I don't even talk about spiritual nothing with them, right? But they just remember when I transitioned out of it and they thought I was in some kind of baptism and shit. Like, nigga, like the preacher was gonna take me down into the water. So I can't worry about how they view me or anybody views me based off of me understanding me and not giving a fuck, because it's not my business. It's none of my business how they view me. So some of y'all might be letting your world be dictated on how people view you and not really running your life accordingly based off of you want to stay in a particular lens with somebody that don't even give a fuck about you. God damn, chaos in the blood. And then you gonna be here for another 40, 50 years worrying about Sarah and them saying, okay, yeah, you stay right there, right there. Yeah, you that good UPS worker. Yeah, yep, you ride that truck and everything. That's you. Hell yeah, that's you, baby. Oh yeah, you that school teacher. Oh nah, John, he a school teacher. I don't gotta worry about that nigga. That nigga ain't gonna grow and elevate. I'm gonna keep him right here in that school teacher zone. Ha! Chaos in the blood, baby. Hey, you better do for you. This is about self-love, and this is about recognizing how powerful you are right here, right now, in this particular moment. Don't let nobody stop your light. You are God. You're a chaos being. You're beyond anybody's opinions of you. Let them talk. That's good. They talking about you, so that's good. They empowering you more and more every time they say your name. So you have to run the gambit in this particular adventure based off of your passions and your love for self first. Love for self first. First. Very, very important, family. I can't say that enough. It's very, very important. And rising in power to Rich Homie Quan again. And look, family, hey, if any of y'all are dealing with, a particular energy that's not letting you be your true authentic self, right? Then it's time to actually look yourself in the mirror, go into this introspective look within, and really find the peace, the solace of running the plays for yourself. Man, give me some questions, baby. What y'all got? Give me some questions. 6 years of renewal. Yeah, renewal. My whole perception of life has changed. I am so thankful. I say. That's powerful, inspirational lady. Yeah. Look into yin and yang too. That yin and yang, masculine and feminine energies. With the 6, which means sex, which means creation, which means balancing it out. Did he die? Yeah, he transitioned. He transitioned to the other side. You feel me, Carissa? He transitioned. Divine Kai. Boy, there's no way you can explain the shit that nobody, nigga, is in you, not you. Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's real, Divine Kai. You can't really, and that's good because, the only thing I can do is just give you words of wisdom, but based off of my own journey and my own walk, right? You still got to walk this thing down. You feel me? You still got to have motion, and I have consultations all the time, and and they have motion. And they get off of that consultation. Yeah, do this work, do this, and do this. Get off of it. Fuck it, Netflix and chill, baby. So hey, 95% of people ain't gonna do the work, right? And that's part of the game. But I'm talking to that 5% of people that is gonna do it, right? See, some of y'all might be just listening to this as some kind of entertainment or some kind of way to motivate yourself. What we do in the spirit in our Patreon, in the spiritual community Patreon that we have, is that we're pushing energy inside each other to at least put a 30 minutes to 45 minutes to something every day for ourselves. pushing some kind of way you can have this introspective look within yourself every day. How do you find time to meditate? How do you find time to uh, uh, really challenge the deeper recesses of your emotions? Very, very important. During the hierarchy order isn't working for me. Any suggestions on how I can get it? I don't know why it's not working for you, Carissa. I mean, people have been ordering it like crazy, left and right. So, um, you know, you got to definitely get to the space of, uh, I don't know, Carissa. That's that whole Shopify thing, boy. My that TikTok shop, nigga. I should show y'all the numbers. I probably made 8,000 in 7 days. I think it's been 7 days or 6 days. But I keep on telling y'all, go to that TikTok. Whatever TikTok is it's open season in that bitch. So whatever is happening, they pushing your videos or whatever. If you got a product, or even if you want to do that UGC thing, right? Go to TikTok and turn up. You feel me? And my Patreon members, they're having a way to make some money off of how I'm moving the thing. You feel me? If they got the courage to make the videos, right? How much is your Patreon? We got a $6 tier, right? Which is like one book club a week. We got a $15 tier, which is 6 again, which is 2 book clubs a week, and then all the other bills, all the other stuff that we have. And then we got a $60 tier, which is one-on-one coaching with myself and Dream, or myself and D Ray, for an hour and a half, and you break it up 30 minutes a month, 30 minutes 3 times a month, an hour for once, and then 30 minutes. And we just be building with the members that's in the $60 tier, right? So, time is what it is, but we really be pushing more energy into all of it. But yeah, $15 tier, tap in with the guys, because we got Savvy, my homegirl Savvy, coming through this Sunday. We got our book club tomorrow, which is Saturday. Then Savvy is going to give us a 2-hour build on relationships and the chakra system. Absolutely fire. Y'all ain't going to want to miss that. She about to put her foot in that field, boy, because she was telling me a lot of it. And we had speakers throughout the whole time. You know what I'm saying? We had my homegirl Lindsay come through and drop some heat. Pacho come through and drop some heat. You feel me? And so on and so forth. So, we're just trying to push. See, the money is just really to invest and sow back into people. You feel me? So we're trying to reciprocate the energy based off of us saying, all right, how do we find a group of like-minded people that can actually, push into the fold? We got our Dream Current, which is me, Pacho, Morris, D-Ray, where we build on current events and stuff like that. So yeah, get in with us, man. The Patreon and go down. And we got a 7-day free trial just to try it out. You feel me? So try it out. If you don't like it, hey, it is what it is. If you want to rock with the family, get in with me. Y'all are real active on the Patreon too. Thank you for showing up for us. Ashe, Carissa. Yeah, that's love. That's love. And we trying to, because I enjoy this stuff and it helps me a lot. Building with like-minded individuals. You feel me? Look, Dre is in here. There go my bro guy Dre, dropping the heat. Herbal Magic, nigga, he about to have a product soon too. You feel me? Chaos in the blood. Definitely have to get that package. I would love to hear your aspects of this chapter of my life, number 36. Ashe. Yeah, get in with us, family. Get in with us. And it's just a way to, because essentially all of this stuff boils down to reciprocation. So we can't do the shit for free, right? And then we just got to be truthful to the law. So it's like you have to pay to play. You feel me? And shit. Essentially, I got 4 kids too, so that's a part of this thing as well, right? So all of that is up for grabs and up for play. So yeah, just get in with the family and let's make this thing happen. What else y'all got, baby? What else y'all got? If you still hanging with yourself and not doing spiritual work at this point, you basically said fuck life. Yeah, I mean, and I get it because there's no judgment. Some people are at that age where their frontal lobe hasn't developed yet, so they haven't really got to the space of understanding how important the spiritual work is, how important it is to sit down with yourself. So, everybody's at a different walk of their life, and it's not really us to judge. Because I used to be like that. I used to think like, damn, how the fuck is people still in the church? I was saying this back in like 2010. Like, there's no way. There's too much information out here. Y'all tripping. You feel me? Shit, still 2024. People still in the church. So now, it is what it is. No judgment either. Because however you find your spiritual light is how you find it, right? And that's important as well. We need to get you on my podcast ASAP. Ashe. Yeah, get in with me. Just hit me up in the messenger DMs or whatever, and we can make something happen, man. I tried to have it like at first I wasn't doing like interviews and shit. Like people wanted me to build with them and stuff because my time was heavy, and now my time is even more heavier, right? But hit me up, man. Y'all know what it is. Yes, sir, family. I love and appreciate y'all. Hey, if you didn't receive anything, receive this message that I just gave y'all about Rich Homie Quan being a message for us to break free of any addictive behaviors that we might be facing in this particular time. Trust and believe this is a spiritual message for you, for you, for you. Y'all know what it is, family. Peace to the gods.